This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, and Comfort Fit Dentures. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com on our YouTube broadcast channel for the evening. I'm Aaron Hewish. We appreciate you joining us this Friday night as the Coolidge Bears have traveled up US 60 in the Salt River Canyon to take on the Snowflake Lobos, Lady Lobos here, as we get set for tip-off here. We'd like to first go with our Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Summit Healthcare Medical Center has everything to get your athlete back in the game. We're probably going to have to take a quick break here, folks, as we're probably going to stand and honor America, and we're going to come back and give you our Summit Healthcare injury report as long as our Ace Hardware pregame keys to the game, as the Lady Lobos are set to take on the Lady Bears. Just waiting to see what we're getting here. Turn it over to our public address announcer for the evening.
Good evening, Snowflake High School. I'd like to welcome the Coolidge Bears to our high school community. As a reminder, athletics is part of the educational process for these athletes.
Folks, we're going to take a quick break while we do the national anthem. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Find a level of care you might not expect from a rural.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we head to our Summit Healthcare injury report. It is early in the season, and neither of these teams are missing any significant ball players. And it looks like, I think the only thing as far as not really an injury report goes is this is the point of the season where teams are still trying to find their stride and get in shape. So that's your Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything to get your athlete back in the game. Next, we go to our Ace Hardware keys to the game. And Ace Hardware has a 24/7 locksmith. Anytime you're locked out of your car and need a key replaced, any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware, Pine Top, Overgarden, Sholo. And our Ace Hardware keys to the game is going to be simple. The Lobos coming off a defeat at the hands of the Chinle Wildcats. And that was Tuesday, as they're going to be set to take on these Lady Bears. And the Lady Bears have had a few more games under their belt, and we're going to see how they respond to coming up here and playing at altitude. It's always interesting to see how some of these teams come and get and play at altitude. Starting for the Bears tonight is going to be number 12, Bree Villanueva. Number 20, Amaria Miguel. 22 is Nalicia Charles. 22, Alicia White. And number 23, Alana White. As we get set to get the starters to the Lady Lobos, and we're going to turn it over to public address announcer Travis Flake. As the Lobos starting line tonight will be Kennedy Stewart, Taylor Hancock, Nicole Hips, Raynell West, and Raya Denhalter for the starting five for the Snowflake Lobos, as they've got one game under their belt. A few more practices than the boys team. The boys, unfortunately, have had one game and 3 practices, although they had a very good showing the other night at Chinley. Make sure you stay tuned for that tonight, as we got Tommy Puhayama, Stacy Gillespie, and Greg Chavez Jr. is our official tonight, as Stacy Gillespie will act as our head official for the night, and he's going to toss it up, and we're going to be underway shortly. This is time to tell you about our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off at the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College, locations in Navajo and Apache County. Northland Pioneer College. As White jumps against West, as Lobos control the ball, as Hancock's going to get to the top of the key. Hancock's going to send it over to Stewart on our near side. Inside to Denhalter. Denhalter up, and that's going to be a 2 for the junior Denhalter for the Lady Lobos. As here come the Bears. See what the Bears can do on offense. As we're going to have Charles dribbling down the ball. That is number 21, Nalissa Charles. Charles is going to give it inside to White. There is Alicia White and Alana White, as we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get, and I didn't see if that was a traveling, no, it is just a traveling violation, as Stewart's going to inbound the ball. Stewart's going to inbound the ball to, I didn't see who that was, as it's picked off now by the Bears. Down come the Bears, and that's Alana White with the ball. Left, and she's going to be whistled, and she's going to get an offensive foul, and that's going to go, and Raynell West, wearing number 24 this evening, with that charge. Lobos to inbound. Hancock inbounds, and that's going to be intended for Denhalter, and that's going to be knocked away by number 20, Amaria Miguel for the Lady Bears. Hancock to inbound. Hancock gets it over to Stewart, now being pressed. Stewart dribbles through the middle of the press, gets it knocked away, grabs it back. Looking, has Hancock open on the far side. Hancock looking to get across. Crosses the time strike. Forward to Hips. Hips now inside to West. West puts it up, and that's her first 2 points of the game. And we're going to get a whistle as stall on the floor here. I believe that's going to be a warning for a stall on the Lady Lobos. As the inbounds is going to come to White. White's going to dribble on our near side. White now takes it in, dribbles all the way to the corner. She's going to put it in. She is going to be fouled. Alicia White is going to put it in for 2. They're going to count the basket. The foul is going to be on West. That's going to be her first personal first team, as White goes to the line to complete a 3-point play, as she does. 4-3 for the Lady Lobos. Denhalter to inbound. Inbound goes to West, back to Denhalter, now knocked away by the Bears, controlled by Hips. Forward to West to Hancock. Hancock just a little over her head from West to Hancock. That ball rolls out of bounds, and it's going to be controlled by the Bears. Chance to take the lead here. As White with the ball. Brings it over the time stripe. Now at the top of the key, over to her left. Dribbles, puts it up in the middle, and that one's going to go front of the rim and off. Ball inside, and we're going to get ourselves a jump ball, as the ball goes inside to number 20, and that is Amaria Miguel. And now it's going to belong to the Lady Bears. Nalicia Charles to inbound. She inbounds it to White. Goes out to the top to Miguel. Ball inside, and Raynell's going to be whistled for a second foul. And Coach Mike Brogan is going to have to get her out of there. She's got a quick 2 fouls. That is Raynell's second personal, and that is the second team as well. As you might recognize the name Coach Mike Brogan, as he called quite a bit of football this year, and he most likely will be joining us for the boys game this evening as Alana White, number 23, misses her first free throw. So White, Charles, Miguel, and Villanueva for the Lady Bears. Here's her second free throw by White. That one's no good. That's going to be Denhalter's going to get the position, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. And looks like the Bears got the hand on it, so it's going to belong to the Lobos. Hancock to inbound. Hancock to West. Raynell puts the ball on the floor. Now gives it back to Kennedy Stewart. Over the top to Raynell West. As she was close to getting a backcourt there. Now over to Hips. Hips to Hancock. Hancock puts it up. No good. Rebound, Bears. As it's going to be, that's going to be Alicia White. And she almost loses it off her foot. Now inside to White. And that's going to be knocked around, rebounded. Denhalter's going to end up with it. And we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul. That's going to be a foul on the Bears. That's going to go against Alicia White. That's her first personal, second team. Stewart to inbound. As looks like Kupfer and I believe that's Ballard replaces on the evening. As Hancock with the ball. Over to Stewart. Stewart on the far side, back to Hancock at the top of the key. Inside to Ballard to Kupfer. Kupfer 8-foot jumper, no good. Denhalter fights and gets the rebound, goes all the way out to the far side in front of the Bears bench to get that ball. To Stewart to Hancock. Back over to Ballard, inside to Kupfer. Kupfer loses it. However, Denhalter gains it back in. It's going to be knocked around, and it's going to go through a bunch of different hands. Knocked out on the Bears, and that's going to be knocked out by White. Ball's going to belong to the Lady Lobos. Hancock inbounds. And Hancock inbounded. I believe that was Denhalter. Denhalter tried to put it up, no good. Here come the Bears. White tries to kick it out. Now it's knocked way out. Three-point attempt is no good. And I'm trying to get who that three-point attempt was. I believe that three-point attempt was Nalicia Charles. As ball is now out on the Lobos, belongs to the Bears. White over on the far side. White now dribbles the lane, knocks it off her foot, has it knocked away, but ends up with Amaria Miguel. Now over to Villanueva. As we're going to whistle, and we're going to get a travel. And that's going to be a turnover on the Bears, turnover on White. As Hancock brings it in. Hancock over to Kupfer. Now on the near side, Kennedy Stewart brings the ball, and Kennedy's tied up, and now it's knocked away and stolen by Miguel. And it's going to be knocked away, and it's going to belong to the Bears. As Stewart got tied up there at half court. Coach Brogan's going to take a timeout. We're going to take it too. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Welcome back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as the Lady Lobos up on the Coolidge Bears 4-3. As Coach Brogan took a quick timeout. Both teams with 2 fouls at this point. Bears are going to inbound the ball. Down on their side, inbound is to Miguel. Miguel tries to get it to White. It's going to be knocked out of bounds by Kupfer. 4-3 again. The Lobos up on top right now. Charles to inbound. Charles inbounds to Miguel. Miguel inside to White. White tries the basket's knocked up the rim. There it is, rebounded by Denhalter. Denhalter dribbles down. Denhalter misses off the front of the rim. Rebound is Hancock, and Hancock goes up with it. She has the ball knocked away. It is going to be stationary and going to belong to the Lobos. Mr. Chavez Jr. giving the ball to Hancock as Hancock gets the 5 count. Now she gets it into Ballard. Ballard over to Stewart. Stewart inside the middle of the Cutler, and it is going to be knocked away by Miguel. Miguel now over on the far side, just a shadow of the Lobo bench, inside to Charles. Back to Miguel, now controlled by the Bears, and that is Charles. So we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a loose ball foul on the Lobos, and that's going to go against number 11. I believe that is J.C. Ballard, the junior. Ball up by the Bears as Mr. Chavez goes over to the table to check something out. Now he's talking to the Coolidge coach as we have a little bit of a delay in the action here. That's Miguel to inbound. Miguel inbounded to White. White throws a long court pass to Villanueva, and that is knocked away, and that is going to go in favor of the Snowflake Lobos over on the far end next to the scorer's table. Just halfway through this first quarter. A little bit of a late start for this game because the JV game going a little bit long as the JV boy Bears defeated the Lobos. Inside to Cutler. Kupfer has it. Actually, Kupfer passes it into Denhalter. Denhalter tries to pass it. Now we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul. However, it's going to be called on the ground as Denhalter is going to be fouled underneath. And it looked like that is going to be a foul on Charles as Charles comes in and just kind of knocks Denhalter as we get an inbound pass to Cooper. She loses it, and now the Bears control it, controlled by Charles. Charles dribbling over on the far side, now to the middle, crosses over the time stripe. Charles to her right. Getting the court, now switches other side to the top of the key. Now over to the far side. Charles to her left. Goes, dribbles inside, no good. Ball off rim. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get an offensive foul on number 21, Alyssa Charles. That is going to be her second foul. That is going to be a team fourth as we go. As Westover is going to check in for Kupfer. Hancock to inbound to Hips. Hips bringing it up the court. Hips crosses over the middle. Over on the right side to Hancock. Back to Hips. Over to J.C. Ballard inside to Denhalter. Denhalter misses the bucket inside. And here come the Bears on the run. And that is going to be White dribbling coast to coast. No good. Rebound is going to go off to Hips. Now here come the Lobos. As Hips dribbling in and out of traffic. And we're going to get a blocking foul. And that is going to be on number 20. For the Coolidge Bears, Maria Miguel. And that's going to be the fifth team foul, which means we're going to start shooting them. 4-3 here very early on in this game as we've just ticked halfway through this first quarter. Hips at the line to shoot a couple. Hips' first free throw is no good off the back of the rim. As we're going to whistle and we're going to substitution as Stewart's going to check back in the game, as well as Josie Claire is going to check in. Hips at the line to shoot her second. Here's Hips' second one. No good off the back of the rim. Rebound. I believe that's going to stay. They're going to call that off on Alicia White. And that ball's going to belong to the Lady Lobos with a 4-3 lead. 3 minutes and 9 seconds left here in the first quarter. Hips to inbounds. Hips in the middle. As we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul. And that is going to go against number, I think that's number 20. Actually, that's going to be number 10. That is Azaria White. So 2 Miguels and 3 Whites on the roster as Josie Claire goes to the line and she misses her first one. Here's Josie's second one. It is no good. Rebound is going to go to Ballard. Ballard's going to go up for the ball, and that's going to be a block. And she's going to have it knocked away. Nice block, but it still belongs to the Lady Lobos. Hips to inbound. Hips gets the ball. Over on the far side to Stewart. Stewart, three-point shot, no good. Rebound battled for, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a jump ball, and that is going to belong to the Lady Lobos, according to the alternating possession. Lobos to inbound. Hips to inbound. Hips inbounds to Claire. Claire back to Hips. Hips now dribbles to her right, drives the lane, puts it up. That one's going to be good. That's going to be good for Nicole Hips. First 2 points of the game for the Lady Lobos, up 6-3 as the first quarter ticks away with just under 3 minutes. That's going to be stolen by Hips. Hips is on a fast break. Hips on to her right. She goes. She puts it up. That's going to be good. That's Nicole Hips' second point as the Lobos a little bit of a run here. We're going to get a timeout by the Coolidge Bears. We're going to go ahead and take it. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
All right, welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As we're going to go down our sponsors here. Shola Ford on the east end of the Deuce. Ace Hardware in Pine Top Overguard and Sholo. The Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Show. Northland Pioneer College. Horn Auto Center. Summit Regional Medical Center. Comfort Fit Dentures. And we forgot to mention, actually we haven't had one yet. I was going to say we forgot to mention our Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer, as the Bears are going to lose that out of bounds. That's going to belong to the Lobos. And last, sponsoring our player of the game is Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. And so we thank these sponsors. They are what make these games possible, along with the great production crew, getting everything set up, everything ready to go. Our cameramen, our production crew, everybody. As here come the Lobos. Stewart on the left side, puts it up, no good. Rebound is going to be fought for and ended up with by the Bears. Almost a jump ball, and that's going to be White, cross court to Villanueva. Villanueva, she's off the front of the rim, and the Bears are just struggling to get those, I wouldn't call them easy layups. They're just struggling to get some of those layups off as Hips now brings the ball. Hips at the top of the key, dribbling fast. Hips in the middle, loses it, and that's going to be stolen. That's going to be a turnover for the Lobos. White with the ball. White goes down right side, and she's going to go, and she's going to get charged with an offensive foul as she puts it over on J.C. Ballard. As we look at the replay here as she comes down. And I think part of the reason why she got called with that offensive foul is that little shimmy of the elbow before she even drove the key all the way. So nonetheless, it's going to belong to the Lobos as he's going to discuss. Their coach wants to discuss what's going on with these fouls. It is what it is. They've got a couple offensive fouls, but like I said, you see it pretty good in the replay, the shimmy of the arm. As now the Lobos on their side, at the top of the key to Hancock. Hancock over to Stewart, inside to Westover. Three-point shot by Denhalter, no good. Rebound Bears. As here come the Bears, and that's going to be forward to actually, that's number, I believe that was number 10, and that is Azaria White, and Azaria is going to be fouled. She's going to go to the line, and she gets a chance to put in a couple, and Azaria White, the freshman. Sholo living with 3 freshmen on their roster. As Azaria goes to the line, Azaria White shoot her first free throw, and it is no good. As we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to have a substitution, and that is going to be number 2, Elena Hutchinson, checking into the game, as she's going to check in the game for Alicia White. Here's Azaria White's second free throw. It's up, and it is no good. Rebound. Denhalter had it, and then it was knocked away. Now Denhalter ultimately grabs the rebound. Now to Stewart, who brings it up the court. Stewart crosses over the middle. Stewart over to the left side to Denhalter, inside to Westover, and that's going to be over Westover's head. Too much for her to handle, and that's going to belong to the Coolidge Bears. As number 22, Claire Reedhead, is going to check in for the Lady Lobos. As we see Alicia White bringing the ball up the court. Excuse me. I'm saying Alana White is 23. Alicia White's 22. My mistake. I have those mixed up in the broadcast. I apologize. Try to get those corrected. as we're going to get a ball out of bounds on the Lobos. That's going to go out on Claire, and it's going to go favor the Bears. Minute 6 seconds left here in the first quarter. Ball's inbounded to number 10. That is White, Azaria White. White to the right, gives it inside, and that's going to be intended for Alicia White, and it's going to be knocked away, and now the ball is going to belong to the Lobos. Claire Reedhead to rebound. Reedhead to Stewart. Stewart now not being pressed, gets the ball over easy. Now over to her left, to Reedhead, back to Stewart, now to Hancock. Hancock looking to try to get it inside, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a travel on Haley Hancock. That's going to be a turnover for the Lobos, up 8-3 with 48 seconds left here in the first quarter. Bears now have it. Alicia White over on the right side. She dribbles inside, and she's going to go to the line and shoot a couple. As the Bears have been very aggressive about getting the ball, driving the lane, and having that opportunity to get those free throws. However, they're 1 for 5 in this quarter on the free throws. As Alicia White goes to the line. First one is no good. We're going to have Hips check back in the game. She's going to check back in for Hancock. White to shoot her second free throw. Second free throw by White is good, and that gives the Bears, puts a little bit of a halfway advantage, 8-4. Lead for the Lobos is here's Stewart. Stewart over to Reedhead. Back to Stewart. Inside to Denhalter. Denhalter puts it up, no good. And it's going to be fought for rebound. It's eventually going to be end up in the Bears' hands, as that was White and Claire tied themselves up in the key for the rebound, but the Bears end up with it. As here goes Alicia White. She puts it in, no good. As we're going to have a whistle, and we're going to have a jump ball. And that's going to belong to the Coolidge Bears with 10 seconds left here, in the first quarter. Villanueva to rebound, or to inbound. Over to Peyton Duran into the game for the first time. As Duran's going to get it over to White, she's going to drive the lane, no good, and we're going to have a whistle, and we're going to have the end of the first quarter with the Lobos with an early 8-4 lead. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. Gobble up all of these savings with our Black Friday deals going on all month long, like our very last 2024 2500 Chevy Duramax, $7,000 off, and we have a half-ton 2024 four-wheel drive crew cab RST, $12,200 off. Come on over to Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs or go to hornauto.com. We are the GMC Chevy store that saves you more.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we get set to start the second quarter with the Lobos with an 8-4 lead. And the Lobos, because of the possession right there at the end of the quarter, the ball is actually going to belong to the Lobos to start this quarter because the Bears got it with 10.2 seconds left in that half as Stewart's going to get set to inbound. Coolidge started out the game, and as they started out the game, they started out really tough on the press, and they've backed off quite a bit as ball is inbounded to Hips to Stewart, back to Hips to Hancock to Denhalter. Three-point shot by Stewart, no good. Rebound by the Bears. Rebound is by Miguel. Miguel now to White. White over on the far side. And that is Malicia Charles in for 2 points. As Hips brings it over the time stripe, over to Hancock, back to Hips. Hips at the top of the key. Hancock back to Hips, looking to try to work that ball in the middle. Over to Hancock again on the near side. Over to Hips. Hips putting some direction. Now it's knocked away. And now the Bears are going to get a steal. The steal is going to be credited to, I want to say that was Villanueva, but I don't think it was. I think it might be someone. Oh, that's going to be Azaria White with the ball. Hips 3-point shot. That one's going to fall. Nicole Hips for 3 points. And that is a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointer. Appreciate Comfort Fit Dentures and their sponsorship of those 3-point shots. And if you're a Lobo fan, that's the first one of the night. As here's White puts up the ball. And that's going to be air ball, but it's going to hit the hand of Hips, and it's going to fall out of bounds. As that's Alana White, the sophomore, with that miss. But Hips couldn't gather it in, and it falls out. Now the Bears will have it. Inbound is to Alicia White. And she's going to bring it all the way around. Now a quick pass inside, and it's going to be thrown away. And it's going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos. Hancock to inbound. Hancock to Stewart. Stewart bringing it up the court. Now Stewart gives it to Hips. Back to Stewart. Up 11-6. To Hips, who now brings it to the top of the key in the middle. Hips looking. Now she gives it to West, who tries to get it into West, where it's forced and tipped to Hancock. And now it's going to be thrown and over the head of Denhalter and going to fall out of bounds. The ball is going to belong to the Bears. Bears with the ball. Try to force. Shot stolen. Stolen by Stewart. Stewart protects it. Now gets it. Long court pass to Hips. Hips tries to get it to West, who's in the middle of the key. Wide open, and it falls out of bounds, and it's going to belong to the Bears. 11-6, 5 minutes and 47 seconds left here in the second quarter. Inbound goes back. Charles with the ball. Charles now puts up a long three-pointer. No good. Rebound, Denhalter. As now Denhalter's going to throw it a long court pass to Hips. Hips is going to get it, control it. Now Hips is going to put up a short jumper. That one's going to be good for Nicole Hips for extending the Lobo lead to 7. Number 10, Nicole Hips, the senior. As Hips playing some great ball right now, and it looked like we got a little bit of an elbow as head referee for tonight, Stacey Gillespie, whistles that ball and says no, and he calls it a elbow and an offensive foul. And now we're going to have Kupfer check back in. Kupfer's going to check in for Raynell West, as Raynell West with those 2 early fouls. As Hancock's going to have the inbound, Hancock's going to throw it forward to Kennedy Stewart. Stewart brings it across the time stripe. Stewart over to the right to Hips. As Hips has it knocked away, she gets it on. Now she gets it to Stewart. Stewart at the top of the key. Over to Hancock. Hancock inside to Kupfer. And we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul, and we're going to get a hold foul on the Bears. And that is going to be against, I think they're going to call that on 22, which is Alicia White. Is it going to be 23 or 22? Waiting for the score, but it is 23, and that is huge because that's Alana White's 3rd personal foul. It is only the 2nd, so they're going to give her a quick sit on the bench. We might not see her the rest of the half as Hancock inbounds the ball to Denhalter. Denhalter with a nice left-handed, about 6-foot jumper, kisses it off the glass through the bottom of the hoop for 2. As White brings it down all the way, and she goes coast to coast and just could not get that ball to finish as it goes to Denhalter. Denhalter has it ripped away, and that is ripped away by number 20, Miguel, as that's Miguel's first points of the game. 15-8, Lobos lead. Here's Denhalter, left side, left hand. Another 2 points for Raya Denhalter, the junior. Bears inbounds. Now the Lobos putting a little bit of pressure on him. As now the ball is controlled by Alicia White. Over on the far side to Villanueva. Villanueva drives, and she's going to be blocked, and the ball's going to roll. As Bria Hutchinson checking in a little bit ago for the Lady Bears. Bears to inbound. Alicia White controls the ball over in front of the Lobo benches. That's going to be stolen, and that's going to be stolen by number 21. And that is Harley Nichols, the freshman. So we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a jump ball foul. Excuse me, not a jump ball foul, a jump ball, and that's going to belong to the Lobos. As it looks like we're going to get a timeout, we're going to take it too. This is Show Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back to Show Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. The ball is going to belong to the Lobos as Stewart's going to inbounds. We're going to take a minute to thank our sponsors, Show Ford, Ace Hardware, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northland Pioneer College, Horn Auto Center, Summit Healthcare, Comfort Fit Dentures, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. As the Lobos still have it inside to Ballard. Ballard throws it away, and that is not going to be tipped and going to belong to the Bears. No, they're going to call that out on the Bears, and that's going to belong to the Lobos. I must have been tipped early as Ballard to inbound to Denhalter, and we're going to get a whistle and ball's out of bounds, and that's going to stay under the basket for, actually in the corner for the Lady Lobos. Ballard to inbound. Ballard to Stewart. Bears playing pretty good defense, keeping these Lobos in check as Stewart dribbles. She's going to have it back off the back of the rim. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to have a foul. The foul's going to go against Raya Denhalter. That's going to be her first personal, second team. Bears to inbounds. The inbounds is going to be taken away. However, we're going to get a travel as Harley Nichols picked that ball but traveled just at the end and allowed her to be called with that traveling. Now the Bears to inbound as Miguel's going to bring it, crosses over the time stripe, guarded by Kupfer. Pressure on her. As now the Lobos sink back into their man-to-man defense, as that's going to be intended for White, knocked away by Denhalter, but gathered, and that's going to be number 22, Alicia White, for 2 points, as that narrows the Lobo lead to 7. Stewart in the middle, top of the key. Over to Ballard, back to Stewart. Stewart now drives inside to Denhalter. Denhalter left hand, puts it up and in, and Denhalter's has the hot hand right now for the Lobos, as her and Hips are tied for the Lobo lead. Excuse me. Nope, Hips has one more than her, but it doesn't matter. It's a team sport, right? As we have a whistle, and we're going to have a travel, and we're going to have some Lady Lobos check in as West Hips and Claire are going to check in for the Lady Lobos. 2 minutes and 53 seconds left here in the first half. Stewart's going to bring up the ball. Sends it over to Ballard on the far side, in the middle to West. West now to Hips. Back to West. West puts it up. About a 4-foot jumper. That one's going to be good for Raynell West for her 4th point of the game. Bears have it. That's going to be Miguel bringing up the ball. Miguel crosses it over center court. She's guarded by Claire. Claire puts it up on her as Claire goes to the side, and that's going to be a whistle, and we're going to get a foul. And I think Coach Brogan is telling his defense they got to switch responsibilities there and come off that a little bit better. 21-10, Lobos lead. 2 minutes and 23 seconds left here in the second quarter as the Bears are going to inbound. Miguel to inbound. Miguel inside to White. Back to Miguel. 18-foot jumper, no good. Rebound. It was Claire, and Claire pitched it really fast to Hips, as Hip now has control, and Hips is double teamed and has it knocked away, but Claire ends up with the ball. Claire now has it knocked away, gets her own knock away as she sends it over on the far side to Stewart. Stewart, 3-point shot, no good. Rebound West. West puts it up and in for an easy 2 points for her, for Raynell West, the junior. for the Lady Lobos. White with the ball. White up the court, just off the top of the key. Now she dribbles in, left, right, goes. She stops, sends it, and that's going to be picked off by Stewart. Stewart now passes midcourt. Lobos have a 3-on-1 break. Stewart dribbles all the way. No good, and she's going to be whistled, and there's going to be a foul. As Stewart, rather than having that awkward angle to send it over to West, if we look at our replay here, just a little bit of an awkward angle to send it up, and that's going to be whistled and foul, and that's going to be Bria Hutchinson. That's going to be her first personal, 4th team of the quarter. Stewart to the line to shoot a couple. First free throw is no good by Stewart. Stewart's second shot is good. Kennedy Stewart with her first point of the game, as here come the Bears back down on the other side. That's going to be Hutchinson dribble, and she's going to have it knocked away. And here come the Lobos with another fast break. Forward to Josie Clare. Josie Clare up for her first points of the evening as the Lobos lead 26-10. Minute and 20 seconds left. And I tell you what, having Alana White out for the Bears has been not good for them, as number 2, that's going to be Elena Hutchinson drives. She's going to be fouled, but as White took it out, the Lobos went on kind of a mini run right there, and hopefully she gets her time back in the game as she got her 3rd personal foul and had to go. That's going to be a foul on Kennedy Stewart. That's going to be her first personal, 4th team with a minute 10 left in the second quarter. Lobos up 26-14. Hutchinson, her second free throw is no good. She's going to go 0-4 at the line on this trip, as Hips going to bring it down. Hips is going to have it knocked away but gathered in by Claire. Up court to number 5, Haley Westover. Westover misses, rebounded by Claire. No good. Rebound Stewart. That's going to fall for Kennedy Stewart for a bucket for her, as 28-10 the Lobos lead. Just under a minute left to play. Here come the Bears. Hutchinson driving the lane. Hutchinson puts it up, and we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul. I think they're going to call that on Stewart. And I don't think Stewart's very happy about that, as she's going to get whistled for her second personal. That's going to be the 5th. No, they're going to call that on Denhalter, which makes a lot more sense. Denhalter, second personal, 5th team. Hutchinson at the line. Hutchinson's first free throw is no good, and the Bears are having an awful struggle putting these free throws in this game. Hutchinson's second free throw attempt is no good. Rebound Claire. Claire over to Hips. Hips going to bring it across center court to Denhalter. Back to Hips. Hips at the top of the key now. Stewart over on the far side. Hips at the top of the key, has the ball. Dribbles to her right. Over the top pass to Hips. Excuse me, to Stewart. Stewart now drives the middle of the lane. Stewart's going to have it knocked away, and it's going to be a loose ball. And that's going to end up in the hands of number 3, Bree Hutchinson, as now it's going to be stolen again by Josie Clare. As Josie Clare left, right, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a travel on Josie Clare. Ballard for the Lobos is going to check into the game. Hutchinson bring the ball, guarded by Claire. Claire screened off. That's going to be Bria Hutchinson. There's Bria and Elena Hutchinson. Top of the key over on the far side, as we're going to get a whistle, and that is going to be no good, and we're going to have the end of the first half as the Lobos with a commanding 28-10 lead. We're going to go ahead and take a break and come back and give you our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. Gobble up all of these savings with our Black Friday deals going on all month long. Like our very last 2024 2500 Chevy Duramax, $7,000 off. And we have a half-ton 2024 four-wheel drive crew cab RST, $12,200 off. Come on over to Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs or go to hornauto.com. We are the GMC Chevy store that saves you more.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we're going to segue into our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260 just before you get to the Honda Casino. And normally it's at this point I would defer to my partner, and I'm doing this a little bit solo tonight, so we're going to have to scramble through a couple things here. But first thing we want to look at is our point totals, and the Lady Lobos up big, up 18 right now on the Bears, and it doesn't actually seem like that should be the case, but nonetheless, that's what it is. And for the Bears, Alicia White leads all their scorers with 5. For the Lobos, Denhalter has eight buckets, 4 field goals. Josie Claire with 2 points. Kennedy Stewart with a bucket and a free throw for 3. Nicole Hips leading all scorers this evening with 9 so far. And Raynell West with 6 as the Lobos up big. And it looked like in that first half, as we started off the half, it looked to me like the Bears were putting a lot of pressure on the Lobos, and it was real tight there in the beginning. And then they backed off a little bit, and as they backed off, they started to kind of reach and get a lot of hand-type situations and a lot of fouls. And there was a very big transition point. There was a lot of fouls, and the Bears were called, I think, 2, maybe 3 offensive fouls. And it was at that point that the momentum totally shifted. So as we move forward for the rest of the night, look to see what the presence of Alana White back in the game is going to be, and what's going to happen with the Bears as they move forward, as they dug themselves into a little bit of a hole coming in here to the, I wouldn't know if we want to call this the den, because don't bears live in dens? But the Lobo Den, we're going to call it the Lobo Den. And for those of you who don't know, Lobo is the Spanish translation of wolf. And so this is the Lobo Den. But the Bears going to have to dig out of a little bit of a hole here this evening, as the Lady Lobos have played. I believe everybody has played and everybody has contributed in some way. Although in my unofficial turnover stats, it looks like the Lobos do actually lead the Bears in turnovers. So a little bit to look forward to in the second half. If I'm Coolidge at halftime, I'm telling them, slow the ball down, make every basket count, make every trip down the court count, and make every trip down the court productive. If I'm the Lobos, I keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to run, and I'm going to give a little bit of press when it's time and tire them out. I don't think Coolidge can sustain the press that they did at the beginning of the game, but you never know. So this has been your Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260, just before you get to the Honda Casino. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
This is iTalk 1067's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store halftime show.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Hebron. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
Welcome back to Show Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we're going to get the second half underway. As the alternating possession is going to favor the Bears, as we're going to flip the sides of the court. And the Lobos have kept their starters in. It's going to be Denhalter, Stewart, Hancock, Hips, and West. And for the Bears, it looks like they are going to go with their starters as well, which is going to be Villanueva, Miguel, Charles, White for the Bears, as the Bears are going to inbound. And this is going to be an NPC tip-off, a Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off at the college with the lowest tuition in the state. Locations in Navajo and Apache County. That's Northland Pioneer College. As we're going to get a three-point shot, an aggressive start for the Bears, as it's going to be no good and go to the hands of Denhalter. Denhalter's going to kick it out to Hips, as Hips is going to throw it long court, and that's going to be picked off, so to speak, by the Bears, as the Bears are going to come out and they're going to nail a three-point shot right away. And that's going to be a Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer, and that's going to be Nalicia Charles hitting that first one. And what a way to get your team back in the game, as the Bears with two quick shots going back to that aggressive defense. And if the Bears want to get back in that game, maybe that's what they're going to do, is we're going to see them putting those shots up. Here's Hancock now to Hips. Hips sees Denhalter inside. It's going to be knocked loose. Now it's going to go back to the Bears. Bears control. White with the ball. As we're going to get another three-point shot by the Bears. That's going to be no good. Stewart's going to get the rebound. That was Charles with the three-point shot, no good. As Stewart brings the ball, as these Bears have gotten really aggressive all of a sudden. As it's going to be inside to Hips. Hips is going to have it blocked, knocked away. Bears control. That is going to be Charles with the ball. Now Charles is going to bring it up the court. Charles over the middle. Hanging out about the 28-foot line. Charles to her right. Back to the Alana White. Alana drives, good. Basket, no good. As we're going to get a long rebound, and that's going to fall to Alana White, no good. As we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a travel, and the travel is going to go against Nalicia Charles, as I think the Bears are going to be content to get back in this game with shooting three-point shots. Lobos to inbound, Hancock to Hips. Hips handling the ball, crosses over the time stripe. Hips at the top of the key. Sends it over to Stewart, back to Hips. Now to Hancock, to Denhalter. To Kennedy Stewart, over to Denhalter. Denhalter takes a step, drives. Shot no good, rebound. Charles for the Bears. Charles brings it up. Inside, that's going to be knocked away by Hips. Hips knocks it away. That's going to be West with it. Now we're going to get long court pass. Denhalter's going to put it up and in. That's going to be the first points of the Lobos for this half, as Denhalter puts it up, extends the lead a little bit. Coolidge with the ball. That's going to be Charles. Charles inside to White. White now on the far side. She's going to set up for a three-point shot. Long three-point shot, and that one's going to be good for Alana White for a Comfort Fit Dentures three-point shot, 30-16. Bears doing everything they can to whittle away at this lead. Another thing I'm noticing from the Bears is they're going more aggressive, but they're staying back off the Lobos and trying to just get this more of a finesse-type game. So finesse and physicals. There's going to be a ball knocked away, as we're going to have a fast break, and that's going to be no good. And that was Alicia White with the ball, and it's going to be no good. Now the Lobos have it on their end of the court. Stewart with the ball. Stewart, free throw jumper, no good. West with the rebound. Now West in the middle. Now West in the middle. West loses it, passes it, but it's got there by White, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul. I don't know if we're going to get a foul. Looks like we have an injury, so we're going to get a timeout, as Kupfer and Ballard are going to check in the game for Hips and West. Ball belongs to the Bears, inbounding over by the Lobo bench. Ball is inbounded to White, knocked away. Now Denhalter ends up with it. Forward pass to Kupfer. Kupfer puts it up and in, kisses it off the backboard for an easy 2 points for the Lobos, 32-16. Lobos on top. Lobos put a press on and trap. We're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul. And I believe that's going to be on Denhalter, and they're going to call a block on her. And that's, I think, going to be her third personal. And Coach Brogan might have to figure out if he's going to make this a substitution, as the Bears are going to inbound the ball over by the Lobos bench. White brings it in. White goes, and White's going to get whistled with the offensive foul. And these Bears, very physical underneath. And I'm guessing, just by the way I'm looking at it, sometimes they get called with it, sometimes they don't. One of the officials saw that one and rewarded her with an offensive foul, so that's going to belong to the Lobos. And I do see a little bit of an elbow going, so I'm definitely not going to argue with the call. You're never going to get me to second guess. I think it was a good call by the officials, and the ball's going to belong to the Lobos. As we got a little break in the action right here. Crowd starting to filter in on this Friday night. We appreciate you spending your Friday night with us, as December's always a busy month, so thank you for tuning in. As Ballard's going to put one up, no good. Rebounded by Stewart. Stewart's going to put it up, no good. Here come the Bears. Appreciate you spending your Friday night with us, whether you're on our YouTube channel, on home, on the big TV, sitting there in the nice warm house, or if you have your phone up at your place of work watching and supporting the Bears or the Lobos, give us a little shout out. We appreciate your support. And one thing I want to mention is these sponsors, patron them, give them your support, and let them know that you're very grateful for them supporting these youth and getting these broadcasts on the air and making these things happen. And of course, it would not be possible without our great production crew. Folks, I cannot tell you how the work that the crew that goes in behind the scenes with our cameraman and our producer, getting these broadcasts ready to go for your benefit. It's a great broadcast. We have a great setup and just bringing you these games. We were fortunate enough last night to witness a boys basketball game in Winslow. And Winslow, up 14 at halftime, was defeated by the Chinley Wildcats, who came back in the second half and defeated them. And so anyway, appreciate that. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you giving us part of your Friday night. I know a lot of people in the area in the White Mountains, one of their favorite things to do is get off work on Friday and go home, and whether it's the football game, the basketball game, possibly a baseball or a softball game, and tuning in and watching their team play, whether you're, as that's going to be, I think they're going to give her, it's only going to be a 2-point shot, but that's going to be 2-point shot for Charles, and Charles is now, I believe, leading all scorers for her team. Lobos up 32-19, ball's inside, no good. Back in by Stewart, and that's going to be no good. And I believe that's Cooper with the rebound outside to Denhalter. Denhalter's shot is no good. And the Lobos had 3 chances there and came away with them all. That's going to be rebounded. I believe that was Villanueva. Villanueva is going to step out of bounds, and now the ball stays with the Lobos. So the Lobos with 3 second chance shots right there. 4 shots overall. Ball falls out of bounds. Now belongs to the Lobos. We're going to get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it too. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Welcome back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. And dare I mention, stay tuned for the boys game, as the Snowflake Lobos are going to take on the Bears from Coolidge. And if you've paid any attention to the records or whatnot, the Bears look like they are a very big force to be reckoned with. Of course, the Lobos are only going to get better, as we have Josie Clare putting up a 3-point shot. No good. That's going to be saved by Hips. Rebound is going to go to Ballard. Ballard's going to have it blocked away, and here come the Bears. Long court pass to Charles. Charles up and in. That one's going to be good. And Alicia Charles for 2 points as they whittle away at that lead, 32-21. 2 minutes and 34 seconds left, as the Lobos' lead has shriveled a little bit this quarter, as the Bears definitely have the advantage of scoring. Stewart's going to put up a 3-point shot. That one's going to be no good. Rebound. West had a finger on it, but it's going to be lost to the Bears. That's going to be sent forward for Charles to inbound the ball. As Charles handling the duty, she crosses over the middle. I look for Coach Brogan, if they get another bucket here, possibly putting some pressure on. Charles over to the far side. She's guarded out on the top of the key by West. Now dribbles the lane, puts it up. That one's going to be no good. Rebound West. West outlet to Hips. Hips has an open court. Hips is going to go down, and she's going to put it up, and that's going to be good. Nicole Hips, her first points of the half. As Nicole Hips has been all over the court, just about everywhere tonight, as that was going to be Charles. Charles is going to take it now. Charles on a break of her own. Charles 2-on-2, middle of the key. She shoots it, no good. Rebound Stewart. Stewart now dribbles it. Stewart now double teamed, trying to get trapped in that corner, to be knocked out of bounds, and they're going to call that out on Kennedy Stewart, and that's going to belong to the Coolidge Bears. We're going to look at the replay, and I do think Stewart knocked that one out. That was a great call by Greg Chavez Jr., our official here, and it's going to be knocked out, and it's going to belong to the Bears. And you know, it's funny when you watch those on replay, and you see that happen, you go, oh, we're not sure about that. Then you see it, and you're going, wow, they got that right. And I don't think it's a 50-50. I do think that these guys perfect their craft enough. As we're going to get a drive here by number 22. That's going to be White, and White's going to hit it off. We're going to get a rebound, whistle, and a rebound. We're going to get a hold, and we're going to get a foul on Raynell West, and that's going to be only the second team foul of this quarter, but I believe that is going to be the second foul. It might be the third on West. That is going to be her third personal with 1 minute and 24 seconds left. Lobos watching their lead dwindle a little bit as the Lobos have scored 6 this half, while the Bears have put up a solid 10. Inbound is to White. White guarded by Denhalter. Fakes, goes, drives the middle of the lane, knocked away, no good. She gets her own ball in the middle of the lane, now throws it down. That's going to be Hutchinson with the ball. Hutchinson now long court pass to Miguel. As now fast break for the Lobos. Hips, left side. That's good for Nicole Hips for 2 points. As inbound ball, and that's going to be, I'm not sure who that was for the Bears. I apologize, didn't get a number. Guarded by Westover, and Westover playing some good defense. Now we got a loose ball, and we just kind of got a little chaotic situation. Now the Bears finally bring it in. That's going to be Charles bringing in the ball over on the far side to Miguel. Miguel driving the lane, now dishes it off. That's going to be an easy 2 points for number 22, Alicia White, for the Bears. As the Bears are going to outscore the Lobos this quarter unless something really weird happens. As here's Hips bringing it to the top of the key. Over to Ballard. Ballard back to Hips. Over to Stewart. Inside to Westover. Westover puts it up. No good. But she is going to be fouled, and we're going to have Haley Westover is going to go to the line to shoot free throws. Now, folks, this is the first free throws we've had at this corner. So both teams playing a little bit loose and a little bit physical. This is the first time we're going to have some foul shots with only 17 seconds left in this quarter. Westover's first shot is no good. Ball falls out. As we had a substitution, Hancock and Ballard checking in for the Lobos. Here's Westover's second free throw attempt. And we're going to have a trip and a lane violation. It's going to be no good. They stopped that a couple of years ago where they don't call that lane violation if the basket's good. So Bears violate the lane. However, Westover puts that second one down. Charles to bring the ball on the other side. Long three-point shot by Charles. That's going to be add to her point total as that cuts it to an 11-point lead with 3 seconds left. Denhalter moving in, no good, and that's going to be the end of the quarter. We're going to go ahead and take a break, folks, to the Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees You won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As nice shot of Coach Brogan there and his assistant Coach Nichols. And I know you guys recognize old Coach Brogan's voice from football season. He does a fantastic job and just a good job. He's coached these Lady Lobos. I believe this is his third year with the Lady Lobos and doing good things. As the Bears are going to get the alternating possession, that's going to be inbounded by Charles. Charles with that long three-point in the quarter. As Charles going to drive, that's going to go over on the far side to, that was number 12, Bree Villanueva, and that's going to fall out, and that's going to be ball out of bounds, and that's going to go to the Snowflake Lobos. As Bears are going to have to start throwing up those threes, and the way they've been going and the way they've been tossing them, it could actually be a get them back in the game. Is don't count them out yet. As Denhalter gets the ball in the middle, puts it on the court, she's going to get it no good. Bears with the rebound. Bears being pressured a little bit by the Lobos. That's going to be Charles bringing it up, crosses over the time stripe. Charles, left, right. Now puts it down, up, no good, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul, and that's going to be on Denhalter, and that is going to be, I believe, her fourth personal foul. That's going to be the first team, and that's going to be Denhalter's, they counted that, they gave that to 11. That's Ballard. That's her second. As Charles is at the line, and Charles has the hot hand for these Bears right now, as she had 10 points in that third quarter. Charles at the line. It's up, it is good. Cuts the lead to 10, 37-27, Lobos on top as Hancock brings it down the middle. Hancock now over to Claire Reedhead. Claire has it knocked away. That's going to fall out of bounds, and that is going to be given to the Coolidge Bears out on the Lady Lobos. As we have Hips checking back in the game. Hips with the most points for the Lobos in that third quarter, and she had only 4. So the Lobos with a 9-point quarter, and Coolidge with a 15-point third quarter. As a whistle, and we're going to get a violation, and it's going to go be a turnover on the Bears and going to go to the Snowflake Lobos. Again, crowd trickling in here tonight. Welcome you on a Friday night. You could be doing a lot of other things as the holidays approach, but appreciate you spending time with us and our iTalk family. As Claire Reedhead's going to put up a long three-point, no good, and that's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to belong to the Bears. 6 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game. Inbounded to White. White got in foul trouble in that first half, and she was quite a bit of a difference maker in that first half and had to sit with about 6 minutes left in that second quarter. As we're going to get a long three-point attempt by Charles, and it's no good. That's Hancock with the rebound. Hancock to Reedhead. Reedhead back to Hancock, over to Hips. Hips looked for a three-pointer, didn't get it. That's to Denhalter. Denhalter three-point shot, no good. Rebound, kicks around, now is the Bears, and that's Charles with the rebound. She brings it up the court to the top of the key, drives, puts it up, no good. Rebound Denhalter. Here come the Lady Lobos. Denhalter now crosses. Denhalter drives, being guarded 1-on-2, fast break. Denhalter left hand puts it in, and that is good. Long court pass for the Bears, and it's going to be no good, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get timeout. We're going to take it to this Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. Gobble up all of these savings with our Black Friday deals going on all month long, like our very last 2024 2500 Chevy Duramax, $7,000 off, and we have a half-ton 2024 four-wheel drive crew cab RST, $12,200 off. Come on over to Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs or go to hornauto.com. We are the GMC Chevy store this season.
Welcome back. Shilla Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we're going to let basically the last 6 minutes of this quarter tick away as the Lady Lobos with a 12-point lead on the Lady Bears. I know a group of Lobos is called a pack, but I don't know what a group of Bears is called as I'm trying to think of that. We learned a couple weeks ago that a marathon is a group of road runners, and Ganado group of Hornets was a swarm. And so we're going to look up what a group of bears is called. A sloth, a pack, a maul, or a sleuth. So a sleuth of bears, that's the term I'm using. That's my favorite so far. As Lobos with the ball, a pack of Lobos with the ball, playing against a sleuth of bears. As Hancock tops the key, three-point shot, no good, long rebound. Stewart kind of had it, but it's going to end up in the hands of White. White dribbles full court, puts it up, no good. Rebound, Kupfer. Kupfer now throws it, has it intercepted, knocked away. White grabs it, White puts it up and in. White's going to go to the line, and she's not only going to go to the line and shoot one because she had the and one, and that's going to cut the Lobo lead to 10 with a chance right here for the Bears to cut this lead to single digits. Stay tuned for our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show. And right after our post-game show, we'll take a little bit of a break, and we're going to come back and bring you the boys Coolidge game against the Lobos. As misses her second free throw, so that chance to cut it single digits won't happen this trip up the court. As there's Hips at the top of the key. Hips over to Hancock to Hips, back to Stewart. As a whistle, and we're going to have a 3-second lane violation, and they're going to call that on number 24, Raynell West. White to inbound to Charles. Charles now dribbling up the court. Charles crosses over. Lobos guarding pretty loose as Charles has the ball. Now passes inside to White. Over on the far side, and I think it's going to go back into White. She's going to put up and in. No good. Gets her own rebound, puts it up. She's going to be fouled. 5 minutes left and a chance here, a very good chance for these Bears to cut this lead to single digits. Alicia White's first free throw is no good. As we're going to have Denhalter check back in. Denhalter's going to check back in for Kupfer. Alicia White's second free throw is good. And that does cut the lead to single digits. 39-30 for the Lobos. Lobos, every possession is going to count for both these teams now. As Hips brings it over, top of the key to Hancock, back to Hips, now to Stewart. To Hancock from Hips, back to Hips at the top of the key, over to Stewart, and Stewart's going to have it knocked away. Gathered back in. Stewart's going to bring it in and take a little short, about 9-foot jumper. That's going to be no good. Here come the Bears. Charles with the ball. Charles crosses over the middle. Over to White. White over in front of her bench, now dribbles right, guarded by West. Left, right, fakes, moves it up and in. No good. Rebound. White, and it's going to be a shove? No, ball out on the Bears, belonged to the Lobos. I don't know if she dove or if it was, I don't think we have a replay of that, but nonetheless, Lobos end up with the ball. It almost looked like to me she was pushed in the back, but I didn't have a great angle from my vantage point here at the Den. Hancock with a long three-point, no good. And Lobos might want to consider slowing it down a little bit here as we're going to have Charles with a three-point shot. That's going to roll off and in. Rebound White. White kicks it out. That's going to be, I believe that's Villanueva, no good, and that's going to be ball out, and it's going to stay with the Bears. 3 minutes and 57 seconds left now. Lobos clinging to the 9-point lead. Ball is inbounded to White. White now brings it all the way over to the top of the key. White to Charles, back to White. White puts it up, and that's going to be 2 points for her, Alicia White, and that cuts the lead to 7. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left as the Lobos have had a drought here for a while. That's going to be a three-point shot. That's going to be no good. Rebound, Hancock, as Stewart puts it up. No good. Ball is knocked out. No, ball's going to be knocked out by West. They're going to say knocked out by Raynell West, and this is going to belong to the Bears, a chance to cut this lead even more as the Lobos are going to put some pressure on. Thrown over pass to White. White now in a hurry, brings it across. Lobos back off a little bit. Miguel with the ball. Inside to White. White drop step, puts it up, and that's going to be good for Alana White. 2 points, 39-34. Lobos now leading by 5, 3 minutes and 12 seconds left. Lobos have got to put something together as the Bears have played some very good defense, although the Lobos shot selection hasn't been the greatest. Here goes the three-point shot. That's going to be no good as Hancock's going to get the rebound. Hancock's going to tip it to the Bears, and here comes Miguel and the Bears as it's forward to White. Bears with a chance to cut it even more here as White goes in, right, left, throws it up and in. That's going to be no good, and that's going to stay on the court according to the official, and we're going to have a ball out of bounds. As I think Coolidge is just taking better shots and playing more aggressive, and unlike the first half where they were getting those fouls, they've been a little fortunate, and then the Lobos trying to force a few shots that maybe this early in the season they seem necessary, but I'm sure later on they'll learn, and I'm sure that's something Coach Brogan will address with them. As that's going to be ball inside, and Raynell West is going to get whistled, and she's going to be called with the foul. That's going to be on the – no, we're going to go to the line because that is going to be the Lobos' 5th team foul this quarter, as the Bears have not committed a foul. Lobos only up 5. That's going to be Raynell West's 5th personal foul. She's going to be replaced by Haley Westover as Alana White is going to go to the line to shoot a couple. And just to give you an idea of this half, the Lobos have scored 11 this half, while the Bears have done – the Bears have put in about 22 points this half as both free throws are missed, and a break there for the Lady Lobos. As Hips is going to bring it forward. Hips over to Hancock. To Hips. Hips looking for that inside pass. Now back to Hancock. Hancock looking inside to Denhalter. Denhalter puts it up, kisses off the front of the rim. No good. Bears with the rebound. Bears control it. Charles brings the ball up, guarded by Hips. And again, all these little chances are just mounting up for the Bears, taking advantage of all the miscues on the Lobos in this second half. As there's going to go Alana White, she's going to drive, she's going to put it up. That's going to be good, and that cuts it again. That cuts the Lobo lead to 3 with 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter as Hips brings it up. Hips over to Stewart, back to Hips, top of the key. Hancock now with the ball. Back over to Hips as Hips straddles the far side. Hancock with the ball to Hips. Hips is going to put up a three-point shot. No good. Rebound is Stewart. Stewart puts it up. No good. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul on the arm, and that's going to put Stewart at the line to hopefully give the Lobos a little bit more breathing room as we go with a minute 42 left. As we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to time out. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com is just a little bit of figuring, and you can probably figure it out from the basic math, but the Coolidge Bears have outscored the Lobos 25-11 in this quarter, and they have put themselves in a position where they are only down 3 with a minute 42 left. Now, Kennedy Stewart is at the line shooting for the Lobos, but the Lobos have only put in 11 points this half. Stewart's first free throw is good, and that helps a little bit of breathing room as the 40 ticks on for the Lobos, minute 42 left. as this is Stewart's second attempt coming. Stewart's second attempt is up, and it is good for the senior. As here come the Bears, number 21, Charles, and I believe the Bears have not been afraid to shoot those three-pointers. As Charles is going to come to the near side. Looks left, looks right. Now she dribbles over to the top of the key. Three-point shot is no good, way off the mark, and that's going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos with a minute 25 left, up 41-36. Both teams not afraid to pull that trigger on the three-pointers this half as Hancock's going to inbound the ball. Hancock's going to throw it over long court pass to Denhalter. Denhalter, the lefty, takes it left side. She goes up. That's going to be good. Raya Denhalter with a very clutch drive and put it up and in. Great job by Raya Denhalter to keep the Lobos a 43-36 advantage, minute 13 left. Bears with 2 timeouts, Lobos with 2 timeouts. As we go, we have a whistle and we have a foul, and that's going to be foul on Kennedy Stewart, as Kennedy Stewart's going to foul Villanueva, and that's going to put the Bears at the line due to the 5 team fouls this quarter. And I believe that's going to be Villanueva with a chance to add to the Bears total for the night. Villanueva, a starter for the Bears, yet to score yet, been a force mostly defensively. As Villanueva's first shot is no good. Bounces back forth and drops off the front of the rim. As Denhalter, Stewart, Westover, Hips, and Hancock in for the Lobos. Villanueva's second free throw is no good as well. Rebound, Hips. As Hips is going to be guarded closely by Charles. Hip dribbling in, dribble out. Now Hips kicks it over to Denhalter. Denhalter brings it over the time stripe to Hancock. Hancock drives. Hancock puts it up. No good. Knocked out of bounds. And that is going to stay and belong to the Snowflake Lobos. 54.4 seconds left. 43-36. As Hancock will inbound for the Snowflake Lobos. Hancock inbounds to Denhalter. Denhalter puts it up and in. She is fouled. That is going to be a foul on Alicia White. And Alicia White has been a force this evening, with 12 points on the evening. Still looking to stay tuned for our Deemer's Glass Man of the game, our Horn Auto Center drive of the game, as well as our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass player of the game, and there's Denhalter. Here come the Bears as the second one is missed. Whistle, we're going to have an out of bounds. That's going to go to the Lobos. 44-36, 43.3 seconds left. Hips inbounds to Hancock. Hancock looking for Denhalter. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a double dribble on the Lobos. That's going to be a turnover, and that is going to go back to the Coolidge Bears. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com is the Lady Lobos up on the Coolidge Bears, 44-36, 39.8 seconds left here in the second half. Stay tuned, folks. We're going to flip the feed, get the other YouTube feed going, and we're going to have the boys game brought to you by Shola Ford after this. Coolidge to inbound. Ball is inbounded to Charles. Charles guarded by Hips. Now Hips screened off. Charles goes to the right, inside to White. White, left, right, no good. Back out to Charles. Charles, three-point shot. That's going to be good. And Alicia Charles with the three-point shot. As Hips is going to get the ball, Hips is going to be guarded close. Hips sends it, and we're going to have a whistle, and we're going to have We're going to have another full timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it to the Show Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Welcome back to Show Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Lady Lobos up 5 on the Coolidge Bears. Taya Hancock's going to inbound. The Lobos have an inbound play they're going to run. It's going to end up with Denhalter. Denhalter left, right. She's going to have it knocked away, and it's going to be stolen by White. White inside to Charles. Charles no good, and that's going to be kicked away, and that's going to knock away. Stewart's going to get the ball, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul. And that is only going to be the 3rd team foul, so the Bears with a few fouls to give before we start shooting free throws. But after that inbound, it's going to be a little bit scary to inbound the ball for the Lady Lobos at this point. As Hancock's going to inbound at the baseline. Hancock to Denhalter, back to Hancock. Pressed by the Bears, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get another foul. 4.2 seconds left. Lobos up 5. As Hancock's going to be fouled by number 22, and that's going to be Alicia White, and that is going to be her 5th personal foul. We have another timeout on the court. And don't forget, we're going to have our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show. I forgot to mention that this is Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College. Forgot to mention that started the 4th quarter. We're going to run down our sponsors. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce. Ace Hardware, Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northland Pioneer College. Horn Auto Center. The Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more. Summit Regional Medical Center. Comfort Fit Denture. Deemer's Glass. Need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Hands down, the best place when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. 1-888-GLASSMAN. And we're going to definitely have some figuring out to do with these post-game accolades. Deemer's Glass, Glassman of the game, Horn Auto Center, Drive of the game. And our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass player of the game as the Lobos get the ball. And that's going to end the game. And we're going to segue right from Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com to our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store post-game show. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to give our Deemer's Glass man of the game. And this is going to be a tough one of the game, but I'm going to have to give it to Raya Denhalter of the Snowflake Lobos with 15 points. She was all over tonight. She made some clutch points when it counts. And so Raya Denhalter is going to be our Deemer's Glass man of the game. Need glass for your home or office? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best. Call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. 1-888-GLASSMAN. Now our Horn Auto Center drive of the half, I'm going to go with 2 different things here. The first thing I'm going to go with was Alicia Charles hitting that 3-point shot that basically put the Bears on the run that allowed them to get back in this ball game. At halftime, it looked like it was going to be hard for them to get back in. Nonetheless, they were able to put it in. However, I'm going to have to go with that as well as the Bears getting off that 15-point 3rd quarter to bring them back into the ball game. So that is our Horn Auto Center drive of the game. Is we're going to go with Alicia Charles starting off that 15-point 3rd quarter, and she started us off with a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointer. And that brings you to our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass player of the game. And folks, sometimes the player of the game doesn't necessarily have to be on the winning squad. And it's hard because you can still be the player of the game. And but I'm still going to say our player of the game tonight is going to be Nalicia Charles. She lit up that second half. She had 16 points overall. She was 1 for 2 at the line, 3 Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointers, and 16 points overall. It's always difficult to give it in a losing effort, but Nalicia Charles definitely was the player of the game tonight, and she played her heart out in a losing effort. And so we're going to go ahead and give her our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game. Folks, we're going to switch the stream. Stay tuned. We're going to have the boys game next. Your final, Snowflake 44. And we're going to have the Coolidge Bears 39. This has been Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 1067 KNKI Pine Top and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, and Comfort Fit Dentures. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 1067 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communication station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the express written consent of iTalk 1067 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk1067.com.